Hey, what's up, parents? Thanks so much for joining me, and thank you for doing the hardest job on the planet, raising your teenager. Man, we are almost at the end of the year, and so stay with us. You can do it. We're about to land the plane, and the end of the school year and summer is just a few weeks away. We've got 4 midweeks left. And so normally in youth ministry, we have what we call a spring dip. There's so many things going on, but I've been so encouraged to see students showing up with their baseball uniforms on and their track uniforms and making sure that gathering together in the community of faith and the church is a priority to them. I want to talk to you about midweeks a little bit. We just got done doing some different things. We had a worship night this past week, and it was so encouraging to see students lingering in the presence of God and praying over one another. I wish you could be there on a Wednesday night when you see students not just kind of listening or being passive participants, but they're active participants and in what God is doing. And so it's just an amazing time to see them. 2 weeks before that, we had what we call a panel night, and there were over 63 questions issued to us as leaders, and we answered them on the spot. Many we didn't even have time for, and we continued to answer those long into the night using text messages. Pastor Franklin did an amazing job hosting and leading that. And so students are hungry, they're active, they're engaging in their faith, and that's exactly what we want to see. As we close out the year, we are going to do a series on the idea of apologetics, which is simply knowing why you believe, defending your faith, making sure you can articulate why it is that you do certain things, why we believe certain things, that we can trust God's word and his truth. We're combating the idea of relativism, that our feelings should lead us, which we see so prevalent in society. And so if you've had students that have some questions or doubts or struggles in their faith, this is going to be a great series for them. It's going to be a little bit more touching the head than the heart. And so if you've got maybe a logical or rational thinker, this is going to be a series for them, and we don't want you to miss it. I want to talk about a couple things that are coming up. We've got baptism and Afterglow this upcoming Sunday. And if your student hasn't been baptized yet, there's going to be a link below where you can get more information. You can sign them up to do so. And we would absolutely encourage you to have those conversations. It's a great step where students get to articulate, again, why they're choosing to follow Jesus and be baptized. And so even if you don't know a student being baptized, I say this every time we're talking about it, but there are very few things that will encourage your faith than hearing the testimonies of what God is doing in the life of people. Being able to answer that question, what is God doing right now, and how do you see him move? It just increases thankfulness, increases joy, increases faith. And so that's going to be a great opportunity for you to have conversations about what God is doing in the life of the church with your teenager. I want to encourage you to be a part of that. After, we have an Afterglow, and we kind of do different things. This particular Afterglow, we're going to be having a murder mystery dinner. And so it's going to be a ton of fun. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a fake scenario that allows us all to participate and mingle. And what it does is it makes everybody talk to each other by having characters and clues. And at the end, everyone's kind of working toward trying to figure out the mystery of the night. Now, we are needing your help to pre-register for this because we need to give out roles and people need to come up with start with an idea of what we're doing. So if they just show up, they're going to be lost and it's not going to be a great night for them. So if your student is wanting to come to our Murder Mystery Afterglow, we want you to go ahead and register. There'll be a link below, and that's going to allow us to assign them a role, a character, so they can come prepared. There's going to be some costumes needed. We have kind of a country Joe Dirt kind of theme. We wanted something that was going to be accessible to someone on a last minute notice. So you maybe have some ripped jeans and a flannel, or fake mullet wig from Amazon.com. We'd love you to go ahead and register for that. It's going to be an absolute blast, and we don't want you to miss it. But don't miss out on all that it could be by not knowing what's happening and being in the loop. So once you register, we're going to send you some more instructions for that. So again, for the Afterglow, don't wait till Sunday. We want you registered as soon as possible. Well, summer trip is just around the corner. We've got some parent dates coming up, but I just wanted to highlight a couple things. First thing I want to do is share just a God story. this past week, I was called by our bus company, and they simply said, hey, sorry, we're unable to take you anymore. This is a bus company that I've used for the past 10 years. They've been very trustworthy. And so that puts us in a little bit of a bind. I knew going in that I had already priced things out and had the best quote. It was about a $37,000 quote. So to get buses with availability and to meet that quote was going to be a tall task. I didn't panic. Friday, I sat down in my office and I had a lot of things to do. I didn't want to go to the Lord in prayer and spend time because I had stuff to do. But I said, okay, God, I'm going to come spend some time with you. And I hate just giving you my to-do list. I'd rather just talk about life and build relationship. But it was like, hey, this is what we need. And I'm depending on you and relying on you. And so spent about an hour in prayer with the Lord, and it was good. Pushed the task list to the side. And then when I got to the task list, I said, okay, God, I'm just hoping that you will be faithful in all these tasks that need to be done. So I had a list of recommended companies for the one that had canceled. And the first one I called had tons of one-star reviews. They asked me to send them an email to a Yahoo email, which isn't very professional. And I just thought, even if they do give me a quote, I don't know that I want to take our teenagers on this with this bus company. The second person I called, and I had 3 or 4 on the list, immediately was empathetic to our situation, began to talk about God's plan and God's providence and sovereignty in this. And so was connected with a fellow Christian that was empathetic to what we were doing and encouraging my faith just as much as I was encouraging hers. I didn't even make any other calls, and they agreed to take us and match the same price. So this was incredible, just faithfulness of God that I wanted to give praise to with all of you, especially if you got students coming on trip with us. A couple things you can help us with. We are short a few female volunteers. We have some that are coming on the second half. But for the first half, I'm looking to 1 to 2 more female chaperones. We can make it with what we've got, but to give the best experience to our students and make sure they're getting cared for, I'd like to have 1 or 2 more female mentors. So if you know of somebody who would like to come with us, or maybe you're considering yourself, shoot me a text. Let's have a conversation about what that might look like, and I'd love to connect you with that. Hey, lastly, before I let you go, I want to remind you that the golf outing is coming up in July. As a reminder, we've never done this, but we're going to do an adult-only golf outing, which is going to raise money for everybody's winter retreat. The goal is to raise $5,000 to $8,000 and take $50 to $75 off of everybody's retreat, so that cost doesn't continue to climb on you guys. So you can do me a favor with a couple things. One, if you like to golf, join us, register a foursome. It's cheaper when you do that. I'm not much of a golfer, but it's something Julie and I might do with a couple. We might invite another couple and have a blast. Secondly, if you have a business that would like to sponsor a hole, they're $100 and we'll print a sign up. Or maybe you want to just do a shout out. Maybe it's a Bible verse or a congratulations or a recognition of somebody. You can do that as well. So we are doing hole sponsors for $100 for an 11 by 17 print. All the information is going to be in the link below that will take you to our church registration page, and you can sign up right there. Well, hey, that's all I've got for you right now. Again, thank you so much for joining us. As you log off, may you passionately pursue God and relentlessly reveal Jesus to your teenager.